Hello friends, welcome to GK Sports YouTube channel, and this is your favorite, the Kumbi Jiku Show. Like we always do, preview and review before an India international, be it a Test T20 or ODI. It's the time to preview the second Test match, India versus South Africa, starting in Guwahati on Saturday. With me and with Sri is our special guest joining from Hyderabad, former player representing Hyderabad, left-handed opening batsman, and now a match referee since 2011, 4 years since he stopped playing cricket, and he's been officiating as a match referee in IPL since 2022. That's Daniel Manohar, former left-handed batsman who has scored in excess of 4,000 runs in first-class cricket, and he has also taken 50 plus first-class wickets bowling right-arm medium pace. Welcome, Danny. Welcome on the chat on Kumbi Jiku Show, GK Sports India. Wonderful having you here. And Sri, as always, wonderful having you. And thanks for getting Danny on board.
Thanks, Jiku. My pleasure.
Morning, Sri.
Morning, Jiku. Morning.
Okay, so I start with Danny since he is first-timer to GK Sports India, and the test in Guwahati is going to be the first test hosted by Assam Cricket Association. Danny, your thoughts on what we can expect from a new venue hosting its first test match?
Yeah, Jiku, it will be very interesting because the stadium, Assam Stadium, this will be hosting their first test match. It will be quite interesting how the wicket will play and how the light would play also, because during the winters, the Far East, the light sets very early. So it's an early start also, 9 o'clock start. Generally, the domestic match starts at 8:30 only, but the test match is starting at 9 o'clock. So what I believe is what I've heard from the news, that there's some slight grass cover on the pitch also. So which might assist the fast bowlers initially, if not for the full day, at least initially also it might help the fast bowlers. So it'll be very, very interesting for Team India to sort out the 11, not only in the bowling but also in the batting. And I think for this show, you both have been the openers, and for today, I think the number 3 is also sorted for us. But I hope the number 3 is sorted for Team India also.
That's right. That's a very interesting topic, the number 3, which we'll come to later. Sri, first test in any center. What are the challenges? Of course, Guwahati has hosted IPL. It has hosted internationals in the white ball format. But to be hosting a test cricket, that's a different ball altogether, isn't it? So what are the challenges that ACA will be facing?
Well, as you mentioned earlier, they've had taste of international flavor there. IPL games have been hosted, and it's a very picturesque and a beautiful stadium, the Barsapara. And I've had the opportunity of officiating in 3 or 4 first-class games. Like as Danny mentioned, early starts, early winter. Certainly, there's a bit of help for the faster bowlers. I think it all boils down to whether we get people coming into the stadia to watch Test match cricket, because having taken Test match cricket to such a remote center in the east, so it all boils down to see what sort of interest this Test match can evince for the spectators. That's going to be the most important thing. And if it doesn't go on for more than 3.5, 4 days, as we always discuss about Test match cricket, then again it might be a tough proposition. I think with what I heard from the Honorary Secretary of the BCCI, who's also a part of the Assam Cricket Association, Mr. Devjit Saikia, he said they've covered all bases. They've had everything in place. So I think it's about time that the ball sets rolling, and hopefully India recover from whatever has happened. They forget whatever happened in 2.5 days in Kolkata, and hopefully we get to see a much better cricket played by India all round, and hopefully we can see the series being squared.
Right. Danny just touched upon it being an early start and winter and all that in Northeast. 9 o'clock start. We are going to see tea taken early and have lunch later. Does it make any difference? Because the second session starts 20 minutes earlier and the third session starts 20 minutes late. Does it make any difference in terms of how the test usually pans out?
I don't think Jico it will make any difference, but it's a lot of common sense actually, because 9 o'clock start and 11 o'clock you don't have lunch at 11 o'clock anywhere in India or anywhere in the world. So I think it's a good call taking the tea early and then the lunch later. So I think this was a topic which was discussed many years also in the domestic circuit also, to take the tea earlier, but it never happened. So I think this is a good change for me.
Sri, like we've always spoken about, after the Kolkata Test match, South Africa cannot lose this series, but they will be going into the Guwahati Test match with all the confidence, trying to make it 2-0. So, what can India be doing to stop that happening?
First up, I think, I would not say it's a one-off thing, because India lost the series very badly against New Zealand 3-0. And that was a wake-up call. I know that team had the likes of Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli, mind you. And we got a lot of boxes that were not ticked in the test match in Kolkata. So I think it's more about self-belief, and not taking the opponent for granted. I would always say the tourists now are better prepared to play spin than our own boys, because our focus is, honing skills wherein we are more towards the shortest format of the game. So they can take a leaf out of Tenda Bavuma's book. I mean, the sort of application he showed, the sort of grit, tenacity, determination that he had to, sort of hang around there. It wasn't a case wherein, that you just couldn't grind it out in the middle and make runs there. Yes, of course, it certainly was not just a turner in Kolkata. The bounce was up and down. There were a lot of challenges for batters. But if a foreign cricketer can walk into the Indian soil and do that, why not the Indians? Also, I think, a lot of things have been said in the presser, and the coach taking the blame for the pitch. But I think, certain statements were not made in, very good light. Like talking about temperament, learning to play on turners. I don't think we are picking 14-year-old kids in the Indian side to come learn to play turn, how to play spin, and develop the temperament side of it in a test match game. So I don't see why India can't bounce back in this test match. As I said, it's all about application. And we have seen this young Indian side come back strongly, especially in the 5 test match series in England. So it's all about mind over matter, and believing in their skills. And also, it is very, very interesting to see how India is going to work on the playing 11, what sort of surface that's going to be on offer in Guwahati.
Mind over matter is what Sri says, Danny, but you think India will be under pressure to not lose this test match? Otherwise, it will just go the way it went against New Zealand last year. So how much will India be in pressure not to lose this test match?
Yeah, Jigu, back of the mind, definitely pressure would be there, because losing a home match is something which we are not used to. Of late, we've been losing home series a lot. But they definitely there would have been many positive talks in the dressing room and how to go about it. And I also read Gautam Gambhir asking the batters to play without the front pad, without the pad in the nets. So I think I'm not sure how much it will work, because skill does not come in 1 or 2 days, because you have to keep practicing on your skills. So I think all those things have been talked about, practiced, but definitely there would be pressure. But how strongly they come out is very, very important. They have to be mentally tough. They have been doing it in England. We saw the recent series in England where the 2 star balls were not there, but still we managed to draw that and play good cricket overall, batting and bowling. So I think they should take a leaf out of that and again come out positive, very, very positively, and bat and bowl positively.
Certainly, they have to, and we hear that Shubman Gill is almost certain to miss this test match because of what happened with his neck. So we'll have a new captain in Rishabh Pant. So we have seen him lead Delhi Capitals in IPL with limited success, though he came back towards the end, scoring 100 last season, that is 2025 IPL. But Rishabh Pant as captain, they say the wicketkeeper has the best position on the field, can make a very good captain. Do you think Rishabh Pant can make a good captain in Test as a stand-in for Gill? And how effective will he be?
See, you cannot say that he will be a good captain in first test itself. Yes, definitely as a keeper, he'll have an overall view of what is happening on the pitch and what the bowlers are bowling, what the batter is batting also. But he can definitely, as they say, wicket keeper is the second captain of a team. So he gives the valuable advice always to the captain. So that will definitely help. And he's been captaining this recent India and South Africa Test series also. So that might also help him to gauge the match and understand the situation and take the right calls. And again, it boils to again the selection, team selection, what type of team selection we are coming up with. So I think a young captain, it will not be very easy for him. And coming in this test match, one down, it will. I mean, it will add to his pressure, but he's a strong guy. Mentally, he's a strong guy. We have seen what he has done. Like he has come out of like the accident, and again he has performed very well. So he's a mentally tough guy. So that would definitely help him in this captaincy.
See, and you come from the city where we have a legendary wicketkeeper who ought to have been captain because he claims he ought to have been a good captain because he stands behind the wicket, Syed Kirmani. So what are your thoughts on Pant making as test captain, especially when India are chasing to square the series?
I mean, I would, endorse what Danny says, that he's mentally a very tough cricketer, and certainly his value addition is much more to the team, which is certainly required. But to be honest, I think it's just not about the mental skills, physical skills, which India need to hone on. I think tactically we need to get a lot of things right. Because when Rishabh did captain India, in the absence of Shubman Gill, when South Africa were batting second, having a mid-wicket, having a deep wicket for somebody like Jadeja. I mean, as a batter, if you're not going to see close infielders right in front of your eyes on a pitch where there's so much of uncertain bounce, I think you're just, playing a lottery. So I feel, where South Africa were much better than India in the test game in Kolkata, there's nothing to do with skill sets of both the sides. Both are equally good. In fact, India is, a step ahead. I think tactically is where India, really missed out on what they could have done better. So that's one area wherein whom could Rishabh Pant look around in this current Indian setup? It's only KL Rahul. I think he's had the experience. He's captained India before in all formats. And he's somebody, who's a pretty cool customer. I think, and he always stands at slips. So I think there's one cricketer whom certainly, who we can bank on to get things right on the field of play. It's going to be KL Rahul. A very interesting scene because once Gill comes back, it's going to be Rishabh Pant who's going to be his deputy. But certainly there's a lot of work to be done. Just not, as I said, in terms of set skills and mental skills. It's also about the tactics they use to, counter South Africa, and immense pressure. One down in a home series, a defeat at home, that too against the Proteas, is certainly not acceptable per se in terms of the fans. But yes, having said that, bouncing back is not something that's totally alien for this Indian side.
And yes, South Africa, looking at their camp, there is still doubt over Kagiso Rabada. He missed the first test match, maybe missing the second test too. But then, how confident will South Africa be on the back of their victory in Kolkata, which ended in just 8 sessions? Sri, if you can.
I think, do you require a Rabada? Is my question. He's just there in the 15. And, before the start of the game, he's just warming up and just bowling a few looseness on the strip dedicated for bowlers. I think that's good enough, for the South Africans to show the sort of strength we are having. Well, will they be tempted to play, the third spinner would be the question. Because Corbin Bosch didn't bowl that much in the first test match, as they have Mulder, who can just, bowl seam up, and in fact he was amongst wickets also in the first test match. If at all there is no grass on the pitch, because as like Danny said, I also read in the report saying that the pitch has got some grass and it could help the seamers. Obviously it will help because of the prevailing conditions in Guwahati. But if South Africa decide to play the second seamer and Bosch, I think they would go in with the same playing 11, and certainly that would be more than a handful. And the advantage for them is they have Adrian Markham, who can, roll his arm over and bowl his off breaks effectively. Because Harmer's counterpart in India, hopefully he doesn't get to bat at 3. If he gets to bat at 3, hopefully he gets a bowl also. So I think, yes, South Africa's tails will be up, and, why not? They're the world champions, and the tag always would have pressure on them. But for a change, I think they did play like a champion side in the first test match. And then India are up against a side which has really got the tails up.
Danny, Shri always says about when you have 5 bowlers, one is always underbowled. And in case South Africa will go with 3 spinners, the third one being Senuran Muthusamy, do you see do you see him being underbowled, or you see any change to this lineup? What is your take?
I see. Only I think definitely one would be underbowled if there are 5 bowlers. It happened many a times. And I think if at all they're changing anything, it will be only Rabada coming in. It's what I see after the first test. So I think I don't think any other spinner might be bowling. Yes, Markram bowls a bit, and he's a very utility off spinner. We've seen in the first test also. So he can bowl a few overs in between. Help Hammer to take some rest and come again fresh. So I think I don't see many changes or any changes at all. If Rabada is fit, I think he would be in, and I think we don't want that to happen. But I think it will be good for cricket, definitely.
That's right. And looking at India and what playing 11 they will go with, Shubman Gill could be a forced absence. So do you see Washington Sundar still holding his number 3 position, or you see anybody else taking that place, and Devdutt Padikkal coming in for Shubman Gill, and there is some swap between Padikkal and Washi for that number 3 spot? And how crucial is number 3 spot that it is just being used just for the sake of convenience with this particular Indian team?
Yeah, so to be very honest, the last test batting order was something like a T20 batting order, like bits and pieces of bowling and batting. I hope we are not doing the same. We are not repeating the same mistake actually, because number 3 and number 4 are the pillars of a test match batting order, because they carry the burden of batting. Yes, openers are very important, but the maximum number of innings, the number 3 and number 4, they play long innings. The duration they play is like after the ball gets slightly old and they start spinning also. They hold a very crucial position in the team batting order. So I think in all probability, Sai should come in, and Washi should play, and he should go back to his original batting order. And I think Dhruv Jurel should bat at number 4, because he's been brought in as a second, even though he's a second wicket keeper, he's been brought in because of his good form during the recent India A and South Africa series, which is good. So when he's given so much of confidence and giving an opportunity, he should bat at number 4, not Washington Sundar. I think that was a tactical blunder which we have done in the last test. I hope we don't repeat that.
Shri, some interesting thoughts from Danny. What is going to be your playing 11? Because you have almost got every time right your playing 11 before we go into a test match, or even an international match, T20 for that matter.
Force change, Gill out, and we get Sai in the playing 11. I think that's the only change I look at. And I don't think they're going to tinker with the bowling attack at all. It's going to be Mohammad Siraj and Bumrah. They're going to play with the tried and tested trio, the 3 all-rounders, in Akshar, Jadeja, and Washington Sundar, also Kuldeep Yadav. This is the only thing. And yes, I would endorse what Danny said. In fact, we were in couple of days back in Nagpur discussing the same thing. We were doing a game there. I think it's very important when you play a cricketer like Dhruv Jurel, who's done exceedingly well as a batter, and he's adept enough to play both fast bowling and spin as well as anybody else. So I think the one thing they would like to look at is trusted opening pair of Jaiswal and KL. It'll be Sai Sudarshan at 3, then we have Dhruv Jurel coming in at 4. And then bat the rest of the all-rounders in. There's no point in pushing Washington again there, which I feel Ashwin also made a statement saying that shouldn't be hampering his performance with the ball. So I believe this is what is the template with which India would go in, and hopefully they get quite a few things right when they work around the batting part of it within the playing 11.
Both of you have been top order batsmen, openers, or at number 3. We have seen this number 3 being talked a lot, and Washington Sundar has batted at number 3 for Tamil Nadu. How different is it batting for a domestic side vis-a-vis a test side? Both of you, if you can just throw more light on this.
I think domestic and test is a huge difference, especially the pace bowling where the bowlers come at 140 and Marco Janssen coming at 6'5" or 6'6", 6'7" his height, with that trajectory coming into bowl at 140, it's a huge difference. And it was not ideal for Washi to come to send Washi at number 3 and take the brunt of the bowling, because I don't think he would be mentally also prepared for that at any time. So I think that makes a huge difference, because if you're mentally prepared, at least like you're there or you're practicing for that, you're ready for that type of bowling. Maybe 1 or 2 days before only, like after seeing the wicket, they would have decided Washi to bat at number 3. So I think that was not right, and you cannot compare domestic and international, because there's a huge gap where domestic bowlers bowl around 130, 120 or 130. Maybe in between one or two teams have a bowler who bowls at 140, but in a test match, test match like a team like South Africa or Australia, you like bowlers come hard at you, that bounce and that pace at 140. I think it's completely different. So it's very difficult for any batter who bats in the lower order and comes and bats at number 3 in a test match. I can understand the white ball, but in a test match, it's completely different, because the mind plays different, plays funny things when you're batting up the order. So I think it's not very easy.
Sri, your thoughts on the same?
I mean, last maybe a couple of decades, we've seen the two rocks occupying the number 3 position for India, Rahul Dravid and Cheteshwar Pujara. 0 for 1, they're there bailing the team out. 150 for 1, again they're there, piling on a big score. I think the number 3 is a position which it's sort of a fulcrum of the team. It bridges the top order and the middle order in case the start doesn't get better from there on. You need to go through the grind as number 1, because if you're batting on a consistent basis at number 3 for your domestic side, then you are at least used to a certain pattern. The mind becomes that much more aware, saying that you're there to be there at that position and bat for that long. So having said that, horses for courses cannot be there for a specialist spot like a number 3 or an opening spot in test match cricket. Could be, people could argue about the case of Virender Sehwag, who was a middle order batsman. He was just thrown in as opener, and I think that's a very stray case which has happened maybe once in a blue moon in international cricket. For the quality which Sehwag had, or it would also be with the case of Rohit Sharma. Of course, Washi, in fact, in junior cricket has even opened the innings. So to be honest, I've seen a lot of him as a youngster, and I always believed that he had more potential as a batter than as a bowler. The same was with Ashwin also. Well, specialist positions are specialists. So that's the game wherein it tests you in every which way. That's why it's called as test match cricket. So I hope this is one area where the Indian team management can work on and infuse more confidence, because Washi has done really well when he's batted at number 5, 6 and 7. The 100 recently made in England also was when he was batting at number 6 or 7. So I think that's the place where they need to keep him and give him more time, because he's become a 3-format player for India now. So there's not much time for him, to adapt from one format to another. So hopefully this is one area which is sorted out for this forthcoming test match.
And Danny, what would be Washington's mindset? Because first, he is not sure where he is going to bat, and second, he is not sure if he is going to get a ball or not, and thirdly, whether he is going to be in the playing 11 or not. So what would be his mindset? Because he is, if at all, he is going to be occupying the number 3 position, or be that one between the top order and the tail, batting through the tail like we saw him do in England recently. What would he be his mindset, and how would that affect his performance?
I don't think it will affect much, because definitely the coaching staff might have told him this is a temporary shift from number 6 or number 7 to number 3. And I think communication is very important here from the coach, how he communicates and what confidence he gives to Washi, because he's been a vital clog in the test series of late, batting lower order and taking those crucial wickets whenever needed with his off spin. And he's the only off spinner now in the team. So I think he's definitely a very important player, an important role to play as a batter, as a bowler. As Sri said, we have seen him bat on the top order also. He's more of a batter than a bowler. But we have seen him in the recent England series where he can bat and he can smash the ball around coming lower order and take those wickets also. I think the coach communicates with him properly, and informs him that he's a very important player in the side, so that his confidence is there and he gives the best out in whatever test matches he's playing.
So just to quickly wrap it up with asking each of you, 3-day test match, 4-day test match, or go full 5 days, last session, last over, and still it was a thrilling India victory at the end.
I would say, I think maybe fourth day or maximum of first session of the fifth day.
Fifth day. Sri?
Looks like a 4-day game for me.
Mm-hmm.
Because with whatever I've seen, the visuals of what the pitch has been, doled out like, I don't look like the game is going to go into the fifth day. Again, the final, statement is leave everything to the curator. Let him give you, what he decides on. Take it. Like we played fascinating cricket in the last 10 years when we toured Australia or England, where we had no say in what sort of pitch we were about to get. I think that's the mindset with which we need to go, because we've got quality bowlers who can win test matches for us. Give the extra confidence to the batters. Certainly. I believe a 4-day test match and India drawing the series 1-1.
That's very nice to hear, and wonderful listening to both of you. Danny, thank you so much. Sri, thank you again. And thanks for getting Danny on board. And hopefully this can be an ongoing thing if it suits everyone. Thank you so much, and see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye. Thank you, viewers. That's Daniel Manohar and K Srinath joining on the Kumbi Jiku show, previewing the Guwahati test match. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Jiku.
Thank you.
Bye.